Welcome to Audit Survival, How to Present Your Best Self During an Audit, presented by Theseus Professional Services. During this session, you will understand the purpose of an audit, why it is important to the company, be familiar with some of the terms used in auditing, recognize the steps of the auditing process, know the roles and responsibilities of the participants in an audit, know what items are needed for the audit and where they might be located, know how to contribute to a successful audit, and learn how to avoid some common pitfalls that may occur during an audit. So why are audits conducted? Audits are typically performed by independent and objective parties to assure compliance to established procedures, standards, and regulations such as ISO 9001 and the Code of Federal Regulations. In addition, audits are used to identify opportunities for continual improvement. Continual improvement is a stepwise approach to enhancing an organization's processes. Here are some terms to help you understand the audit process. An auditee is a person or organization being audited. Remember, you are the auditee. An audit is a systematic and independent examination to determine whether activities and related results comply with established procedures, standards, and regulations, and whether these are suitable to achieve organizational objectives. More will be discussed about the audit process in an upcoming slide. Here are some more audit definitions. An observation is a statement of fact made during an audit and substantiated by objective evidence. Objective evidence can be qualitative or quantitative information, records or statements of fact, which is based on observation, measurement, or test, which can be verified. For example, objective evidence may be collected by observing activities, interviewing personnel, reviewing procedures, and looking at records. A nonconformance is the non-fulfillment of specified requirements. Note that requirements are the established procedures, standards, and/or regulations used during the audit to determine if they are being followed. So what is the audit process? Well, it involves preparation, performance, reporting, and follow-up. Before an auditor comes to visit an organization, they prepare. Preparation means determining the audit strategy, purpose, scope, team members, audit plan, and checklists. In addition, the auditor usually reviews the organization's documents. At this time, the auditee, that is you, is also preparing for the audit. The performance phase of an audit includes an opening meeting, collection of data, and a closing meeting. The collection of data is another way of stating the auditor is looking for objective evidence that requirements are being met. An audit report provides a summary of the audit. This is typically given to management personnel. If there are any nonconformances, a follow-up is done by the auditor. This is to ensure that corrective action has been taken. As an auditee, what do you need to know to be ready? You need to know where to find the organization's vision, mission, policies, and objectives, as well as your department objectives. Why is this important? The auditor wants to know if you have an understanding of what the entire organization's objectives are, as well as how they tie in into your department. So what else do you need to know? Know your job description, and know which procedures apply to your job. An auditor wants to know if you have an understanding of what you do and how you do it. Other areas to be aware of are how you affect the quality of the product and/or service you deliver to your customer. What quality checks do you do? Do you do visual inspections? Do you use checklists or tests? Know where procedures and records you generate are located. Are your procedures electronic and/or in a manual? Are your records in your department file cabinet or at a central location? Know how you handle a non-conforming condition. Do you quarantine the product? Do you go to your supervisor? Do you fill out a form recording the event? Being audited is not on anyone's top 10 list of fun things to do. To help you survive, remember to be professional, friendly, and courteous. You and the auditor will be able to communicate effectively then. Let the auditor finish asking a question before responding. This allows you to think about what the auditor is asking and gives you time to answer. Sometimes the auditor does not phrase the question so it is clear to the auditee. If you don't understand the question, ask the auditor to rephrase. Auditors are not perfect either. It is not uncommon for auditees to be nervous and do and say things they should not do. Sometimes an auditee tells the auditor too much because they are nervous or they don't understand the question and just hope if they keep talking they will answer the question. Other negative activities are to think your answers don't count, to dodge questions or hide information. Auditors are looking at how processes are being performed and observe the process at different steps and have to put it together. So your answer is part of a whole picture being presented to an auditor. Some other don'ts for you to consider. Never argue with the auditor. Nobody wins. Do not get emotional over observations. This is an opportunity for the organization to improve. Do not act like the auditor is wasting your time. This is being unprofessional. Auditors do their best to be timely, so they aren't trying to waste your time either. Do not be afraid to say, "I don't know." The next slide will provide more ways to approach this. What if you don't know the answer? Is that okay? Well, yes, it is okay to say, "I don't know." You can request to look up the information or suggest the auditor ask a person you have identified. An auditor doesn't expect you to know everything. It is just as important to know who to talk to or where to find information. So what did you learn? There is a purpose to an audit. An audit is looking at the process, not about an individual. Audits are important to an organization in that they give an indication of compliance to a standard, regulation, and/or procedure. Audits are important in improving an organization. Audits offer independent and an objective view of how the organization is doing. Auditors are looking for objective evidence. When responding, honesty is the best policy. Remember, you can be an audit survivor.